Hey, good evening, everybody. This is A.L. Johnson with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency, here with a highlight that I'm very, very, very excited about. Here at our agency, we always like to support uh, efforts in the community that we feel are beneficial. And so this one is very huge. I have a very big heart for entrepreneurship. And my guest here today, Miss Ellie Lilly, is actually the Business Innovation and Creation Instructor at the Herndon Center, which is a part of the Center for Advanced Professional Studies, abbreviated as C.A.P.S. And so we're going to be talking about the Business Entrepreneurship Program for youth. And we also have a young man that's going to be joining us here a little later, Mr. Draden Vaughn. I'd love for you to meet him. He's a very sharp young man. But Miss Lilly, how are you doing this evening?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So can you tell us just a little bit about what you do, the C.A.P.S program, and the Business Innovation Center?
Sure. So the C.A.P.S network, again, stands for Center for Advanced Professional Studies. And at the Herndon Career Center, we have the wonderful ability to have sending school districts from throughout the city. So students from Center High School, Hickman Mills School District, Lee Summit, Ray Peck, Grandview, and I think I'm missing someone here. I think that's all. There's 7 in total. Can send students to our program that are juniors or seniors. And really the program is an exploratory business and entrepreneurship program. So we focus on having as many guest speakers from different types of businesses as we can. We take site visits. In the spring semester, we do students do an internship, and we focus on professionalism and your personal portfolio, LinkedIn profiles, resumes, and just all of the things, the skills that kids need, the real world skills to become entrepreneurs or really to just be involved in the workforce.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how long have you been doing this?
This is my first year. So I started in August, and it has been the best journey. I have 20 students this year from 6 surrounding districts, and it has been life-changing. This is my 20th year in education. So it's really been a challenge, a wonderful challenge. And I have just met so many people, and the students that I have this year are next to none.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you have a big job, educating our children, helping them understand what it takes for the next phase of life.
Yes.
And there was an image that I was looking at when I was preparing for the interview that I think is pretty pertinent to the conversation. And so this just depicts a young man. He's at that vulnerable age where he's trying to figure out what he wants out of life. And
right.
when you're at that age, there are so many influences that are thrown your way. And so you see the rags from different gangs, you see the money, you see the alcohol, you see the drugs. And one thing that really stands out to me in this image is that there's only a few good influences. You see a diploma at the top, you see a Bible, over there to the right. But our children are bombarded with so many images, so many paths that they can go down. And so it's really difficult for them. So I think it's extremely important, the work that you're doing, that gives them some alternatives, some things to think about. And so from your experience as a teacher, like how important is it to give those alternative influences and different pathways to success when they become adults?
I think that what I've noticed with our kids is that they are so inundated with all of those influences in that photo. Social media is a big one. And so I do think that at times there are so many distractions that they are struggling to really make decisions regarding their future. And when you ask them, at the beginning of the year, we did all of this team building work and just, asking a kid, what are you passionate about? What are you good at? They have a hard time with that sometimes, a self-reflection and saying, I am a team builder. I work well with others, just things like that. They don't even know sometimes what they're great at. And so we spent a lot of time at the beginning just getting to know each other and One of the unique things about my program is that I do have small groups. So I have 10 students in the morning, 10 in the afternoon. I have the capacity to have 20 in the morning and 20 in the afternoon, but I have the distinct ability to really get to know the kids. So, 2 weeks in, I'm saying to the students, I'm sorry about that. I'm saying to the students, I know what you're good at. I can tell you already just by being around you what you're great at. So what they do, just the idea that I am able to put them in front of business owners and business partners and have people tell them their story, their entrepreneurial story, which always ends up starting with their high school experience. It's great for my kids because they can see themselves on the level of these business owners in front of them and go, oh my gosh, I don't necessarily need to know right now what I want to do in my future. So we talk a lot about that. You may not know, but what you might find out in this program is what you're not interested in. And that is fantastic. And at the same time, you're going to build some confidence. So when we do client connected projects and we present to business owners, watching the kids stand up and present their ideas has been phenomenal. And watching the growth in the students from the beginning of the year to now is next to none. I mean, they have gained confidence. Many of them have said, okay, now I think I know I would love to be a mortgage lender, or I would love to go into real estate, or now I'm thinking engineering. So, that may not be their path, but a lot of them go to school and go to work. I have one student in particular, I think, that does not have a job right now. The rest of my kids are employed. So they're working.
Wow. No, that's awesome when you think about it, the amount of focus and dedication that it takes to, go to school, make sure that you're hitting the mark there, go to work, and then you have this program on top of it. And so you've got a group of very focused young children. I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. I've got a comment here from Denisha Jones. She said, hi, Mrs. Lilly.
Hello. Hi, Denisha. Denisha is one of our wonderful business partners that has an intern, and she has been so just impactful to my students. She's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, when you get a cosign from Mrs. Jones, that's great. She said it's a great program. She's the owner of Sweet Peaches Cobbler LLC. Yes. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. The cobbler is great. I actually got one myself, and she was on our small business segment before. And so shout out to her. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are watching, make sure that you share this with your network because this program is awesome and you want to get your children involved. You definitely want to get them involved.
Definitely.
So when I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, I found this to be pretty interesting. In the description, you said that when you were young, you would basically take orders for your family of what they would wanted to eat, right? And you took that job seriously. It was important to you, and it helped you, in a sense, discover your passion for organization and helping others. What does that look like, for us parents and community leaders that want to help children kind of explore their personality? So that they can understand what areas of business or whatever else it may be that they could excel in. What does that look like? Because I thought that was very interesting.
Well, what I've been able to do in the program is, take that order from each of the kids. So last May, I just did a basic Google form with lots of questions about the students, and basically, what are your interests? What are you involved in? What are you passionate about? What was the best year of school for you and why? What is your idea of a great day? I mean, just things like that to really just get to know them. And then when I analyzed all of that at the end of May and during the summer, I tried to put an effort into getting business partners that would come and speak from the different fields that the kids were thinking about. And in particular, I had a student that's really interested in music and beats. Okay, so he creates beats. He's interested in this. And in my head, originally I'm thinking, who do I know that can do that? Well, just through asking people and networking, I found a music producer in Kansas City, actually on the Kansas side, that came and spoke to the kids. And he was a little bit more alternative, but does all kinds of music for movies and rock and just all different genres. Excellent jazz, everything. And he produces songs. He was great. So he was able to connect with that student. And then I have a high school friend that is a rapper, and he's a wonderful human. And he came to Herndon and had a meeting with this student, and really mapped out for him, here's how you get noticed. Here's what you need to do. Here's what platforms you need to put your beats on. What I am finding, AL, in this position is that no one has told me no. The number of gracious people in this city, business owners, that are willing to tell their story to my kids, that are willing to be humble and human with them and raw about how they started and what they went through before starting a business, has just been phenomenal. And I cannot thank everyone enough. I mean, I'm constantly thanking my business partners. Denisha Jones is one of those, and they have never hesitated. Also, people have let us come to their businesses and take tours for free. And I really feel like what it has shown me is that people care about our youth, and they want them to succeed, and they want them to see that there's so many paths that you can take with entrepreneurship, with the workforce. A lot of my students are college bound. Some of them are not. Some of them aren't sure. And so, I'm hoping that even this program will sort of help them make decisions about that. What am I going to do next?
For sure. And what I really think is extremely important about your program, especially in today's age, we have artificial intelligence coming into play. The future of work is going to look completely different. And so for you to be able to help our young people discover entrepreneurship early is going to be extremely important for them, because it's projected that like millions of jobs are going to be phased out over the coming years. And so to have that self-starting mentality is going to be extremely important. What are your thoughts on that?
I do worry about them, but what I see in these kids that they have taught me is that they do have so much on their plate. Like we talked about, so many different outside influences, but they are hardworking and they are willing to take risks. They really are. Today we went to a pitch rally at Black and Beach, put on by the C.A.P.S network, and 5 entrepreneurs in the Kansas City area presented problems to the students, and the students worked in groups with kids that they've never met, and they came up with solutions to the problems and created presentations and stood up in front of a crowd of people that they did not know and presented. And they did that in 2 hours. So they are without fear, which I love. They're willing to try new things. I feel like there's this sense of, well, I can do that. I'll try that amongst them. And it's refreshing. We had one instance that I have to share with you, because it was very touching to me, the reaction from the kids, but also hurtful to them. So we were in a donut shop after a site visit. Sometimes I surprise them, and we head to Quick Trip or a donut shop or something. So we were in a donut shop, and the shop owner, I just told him, this is my program. Tell us how you started your business. So he gave us his spiel, and he was a little bit cranky, I would say, and must have had a recent bad experience with an employee. And so he was telling us about how he did not trust the workforce, and he was keeping the donut shop employees within the family because he had a bad experience hiring someone. And there was a man that walked in the donut shop and was listening to the conversation, and he looked at all of the kids. There were 10 of us, and he started shaking his head, and he said, "Lost generation, lost generation.
Wow.
So the kids were looking at me like,
Yeah.
how do we respond? And I am so proud of them because they did not react. And I was a little unsure how to handle it. So we quickly said thank you and goodbye and walked out and got in the van. And so I said, okay, let's talk.
Right.
Let's talk about that. And I said, before we talk, I want you to know that is not true. I know each and every one of you. You're working hard. You're going to school. You're making good grades. You're in a phenomenal program. And you're working outside of school, doing sports, involved in activities. You are not lost. You are not lost. So let's get that straight right now. And so the kids, we had time to debrief and talk about that. And one of the things that they said is, we feel like that's the perception of our generation is that we don't want to work. And so I, quickly said, look around you, ask yourselves who that doesn't have a job. Who are you friends with right now that doesn't have a job? And who in this course does not have a job?
Yeah, I mean, this younger generation, they're very ambitious, very ambitious. They know what they want, and they're going after it. They really are.
Yes.
For those of you that are just tuning in, I'm having a conversation with Miss Ellie Lilly. She's with the Business Innovation and Creation Center at Herndon Career Center. It's through the C.A.P.S program, and what they do is they take juniors and seniors in high school and they expose them to businesses. And so, can you tell the people who are watching what are some of the needs that you have, and how can the community get involved?
Oh my gosh, we have so many ways for you to get involved. Next fall, I'll get a new group of students. So this spring semester, we're wrapping everything up with internships. We are always looking for site visits. We will come to you. We have the transportation. And really, we're not asking for a huge fancy presentation. We just want to know how you got started. We want to know about your business. We want to take a tour if you'll allow us to, and just get to know you as an entrepreneur. The kids want to know your story. They want to know the background story of the business. And, they will ask questions like, do you provide internships? Are you hiring? Those are always the hot button questions for the kids, but also how did you get started and what caused you to go into this field? So we love client connected projects as well. If there's something on your list that's the 10th thing that you just can't get to, consider allowing my students to do some problem solving for you and present to you their solutions to your problem and help.
Especially when it comes to social media, because they know that way better than we do.
They're so good at that.
Yeah,
they are
definitely.
so good at that. Denisha Jones has from Sweet Peaches has an intern right now that is doing wonderful things with social media. So,
awesome. So we got a couple comments from the audience. I want to make sure I address those. Miss Kimberly Young, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor and share this with your network. I appreciate it. She said that she's interested in giving a tour of her facility.
Wonderful.
And so,
I would love that.
I'll make sure that we get you connected with Mrs. Lilly here, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So,
we'll come this spring. We'll come next fall. We'll come whenever you'll let us come.
Absolutely. Like I said, the Kansas City business. The Kansas City business community is so generous.
Wonderful.
I've been a beneficiary of that, and I know your program has as well. For those of you that are just tuning in, give us a like or a heart. Just kind of let you know that you're hearing this and that you're in tune. But Miss Lilly is helping our young people find themselves early. It's extremely important that you know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it as early as possible in life so that you have a long time to really reach the success that you want. And so what I'm getting ready to do next, I'm really excited about. I want to bring on one of the beneficiaries of this program. His name is Mr. Draden Vaughn. Draden, you got your mic on?
Yes, sir. Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Awesome. So can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself? I checked out your LinkedIn profile. One thing I can say is at your age, I wasn't thinking about resumes. I wasn't thinking about any of that. And so you're off to a great start. Keep doing what you're doing. But can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, what your interests are, and what
Yeah,
you've
sure.
learned from the program so far?
First off, I want to appreciate you for the opportunity and thank you for the encouragement and motivation. So my name is Draden. I'm currently a junior at Center High School. I've been offered the opportunity to attend the business program at Herndon Career Center. Um, I met Miss Lilly at the beginning of the year, and throughout everything we've done this year, I've been able to kind of find myself and kind of find out my strengths and my weaknesses. Um, and maybe I want to say my sophomore year, didn't really have much hope into going into college. Didn't really know if it was for me. But throughout this program, I've been able to explore. I've been able to see the other side of high school, and um, it just kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I'm more motivated to, take a leap into college and see what I can give it. I know I'll give it my best. But just throughout this last semester and a half, I've been able to be more confident in speaking in front of people, being able to meet people, be able to let people know how I'm able to like explain who I am. Um, I tell people I love math, but I'm not a big reading or writing guy. So I know that, if I wanted to do something for the rest of my life, it would be finance or something with real estate, something where I'm able to just enjoy what I do for the rest of my life. I know a lot of people, they work good jobs, they make good money, but it's not something they really enjoy. And so I feel like Miss Lilly does a really great job of helping everybody find, set a foundation for themselves so everybody knows what to look forward to coming out of high school. I feel like no student should ever fail. And I feel like it just, the things that they're accustomed to, if school doesn't give it to them, who will, So I feel like this Herndon, the business class, it really does it's really exploratory, and it does a lot even for me. And I'm really grateful for the just Miss Lilly and all the business owners who contributed. All the financial people who've come in, all the real estate agents who's come in. Keller Williams, a big shout out to them. I've kind of been able to get more familiar with mortgage lending. That's been one of the things in real estate I've been thinking about. But yeah, it's just a number of different things I've been able to explore and enjoy doing and seeing. I've been able to see the things that I don't like. We've been to manufacturing companies. We've been to a bakery, and I have to say the bakery was very interesting. But something that is totally, just an opportunity for anybody. So it can be any business, anything that you're motivated in. There's no thing that you can say that you cannot do. I feel like anything is possible. You just have to have the drive and the faith, and just keeping your your road, like your path narrow, like that image you showed. There's a lot of outside influencers, a lot of things that can throw the youth off, and I'm definitely, I can see that. My dad, he's actually a pastor, so he really stays on my bumper. So he's always there to motivate me. Waking up 6 in the morning every single day, going to my internship, and my dad's always been there to support me. And so I gotta say, the Herndon business class is really, is setting that path for me. And once I come out of high school, I know I'll exceed. So thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Listen, you give me hope. You
Right.
give me hope. When I showed that image before, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're speaking with Mr. Draden Vaughn. He's a junior at Center High School, and he's a part of the business program that Ms. Lilly provides. It is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. If you are a business owner yourself, they are looking for businesses that can bring the children in. You share your experiences on how you got started, how your business runs. They even have something that I think is really awesome, is them helping you problem solve. And so you can present them with a problem you're facing in your business, and you'll have a team of our youth that can kind of help you get through that. And so I think it's an amazing program. I've got a couple other comments here from the comment section. Miss Delonda Hudson, she said, "Great job, young man. Thank you for the
Thank
encouragement,
you. Thank you.
and we appreciate you tuning in. Please share this with your network." And so, Draden, you referenced that image. I'm going to put it up for the people who weren't able to see it initially. And this is just an image that shows all of those influences that our young children are dealing with as they try to find themselves and figure out what they want to do in life. And so, it's important that we have programs that give them an alternative. That shows them different pathways to success because they're bombarded with a ton of negative influences. And this is one way that we can do it, especially through entrepreneurship. And so, Ms. Lilly, can you tell them how to contact you? How can people sign up for the program and what that all looks like?
Okay, so signing up for the program, we are still, I think we will still take applications at the Herndon Center for the program. We take juniors and seniors. We are not looking for a specific grade point average or specific prerequisite courses because it is an exploratory business course. And students from Ruskin, students from Center, Grandview, Raytown South, Lee Summit West, Lee Summit North. Also, Ray-Pec is actually able to send to our program. Any of those students can apply on our Herndon Career Center website. There is a tab for the C.A.P.S program. It says Southland C.A.P.S. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I am Ellie Lilly. There's a lot of L's there. So my last name has 2 L's in it. But I'm on LinkedIn. You can connect with me there. My contact information through the Raytown School District is ellie.lilly@raytownschools.org. You can also find Southland C.A.P.S, BIC, Business Innovation and Creation, on Instagram. And you can connect with me that way. I'm on Facebook. My personal page is Ellie Wilkinson Lilly. Just any way to reach out to me. I check all of my social media for messages and things, and would love to connect with you. Would love to.
Awesome. Draden, if you can hear me, I'd like to see you for one more second before we go. Yeah, I think the program is amazing, and I'm looking forward to coming by on Wednesday.
Yes,
So
I
I can
can't
meet.
wait.
How many students do you currently have in the class?
Right now we have, I have an AM section, a morning section that has 10. And my afternoon section has 9. We had one student that got into a CNA program through his school, and so he dropped halfway through because he had a better opportunity. He wants to be a nurse, and so he needed to go get his CNA. I think we lost Draden by.
Oh, okay. Here he is.
Back good. There we go.
Okay.
Hello, sorry.
So I've got a question for you. No problem at all. I've got a question for you though, because I think this is
Yes,
important.
sir.
You're very inspiring. You're articulate, very intelligent young man. And she mentioned to me that a lot of the students there work a job. You're going to school. You're a part of this business program. I'm not sure if you're in sports or not as well. But as a young man, how do you juggle your time and stay focused with all those different things going on? Because I think that can inspire other people in your age group.
It's really just keeping up and just maintaining, your responsibilities. It's easy to fall behind, so you just got to stay on track. Especially with everything going on. I do not play sports, but it is by choice. I just don't want to put too many things on my plate, so I just kind of got to watch what I accept, just watch, what I do. And a lot of the times, like on my free time, I have to do my homework. I don't really have a choice. If I really want to strive, I have to, stay ahead of the game. So in my internship, I've been able to work and also do homework from time to time whenever, it's not so busy in the morning. So I do have a lot of spare time, but it's what I choose to do with that spare time that really makes a difference. If you want it, you just gotta, make yourself available for whatever, whatever sets you up for a great successful career or future. So I feel like any student can achieve this. Any student can set this path and achieve exceedingly well. They just have to they have to want to work for it, and they have to have the motivation and the drive. it can be daunting. It's not something anybody can do if they don't want it for themselves, but it starts with you inside you. What do you want? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You got to ask yourself, what do I want to do now, and what do I want to do later? That makes a really big difference, knowing what you like, what you don't like, where you spend your time, your friends. A lot of outside influencers, they can kind of distract you sometimes, but you just got to know where your head's at all times. It's just like, yeah, my friend wants me here, but what does Draden want? What's best for Draden? So you got to think of it that way. Sometimes it can be hard. You will let people down, but you will lift yourself up in return. So I feel like that's just a message to anybody watching. If you feel like you're in a place where you're just really distracted, you got to make you got to make your decisions around yourself, because nobody's gonna care for you when you don't get it. So get it, so that way you don't ever put yourself in that position. So I just thank everybody for the opportunity, and the motivation and everything like that. So.
Yeah, I think you definitely have a career as a speaker for sure. Yeah,
Right.
you've got it down. You got it down.
Yes.
Ms. Hudson, she said, I need him to be my spokesperson.
Right.
I agree with you. Me too. Me
Yes.
too. And then Janae Petty, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. She actually has a printing business. And so, Janae, if you're
Nice.
just now tuning in, with this program, they are able to bring in students who are juniors and seniors in the Kansas City area to help them learn about business, how we get started, what all of it looks like. And they have a problem solving portion of the program where if you have any challenges, whether it's navigating social media, promoting your business, etc., they're able to help. And so if you'd like to be a part of that program, inbox me and I'll connect you directly with Miss
Yes,
Lilly. I
please.
think it'd be great. I think it would be great. It would be great. Well, no, I appreciate you guys who are tuning in, and I also appreciate you two for coming on, taking up your time, and just sharing this awesome program with our audience.
Thank you.
Miss
Isn't
Lilly.
Draden great?
He is great. He is great. I know your parents are definitely proud of you.
I am so proud too. I just am so proud. And I tell you what, I've
thank
got
you.
19 other kids that are that great. That my students are great people. Draden is next to none. He is going to succeed in whatever he does in life. There is no doubt. And I'm sure that those of you watching can gather that just from hearing him speak.
Oh yeah, he's going places.
He's on the right
definitely
path.
going
He's going places for sure.
Thank you.
Now, I want to help get you a little bit of work, Drayden. I noticed that on your LinkedIn profile, you said that you do Upwork. And so you do some freelancing in the areas of business promotion, data entry, data transcription.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? And let's see if we get you some business.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Upwork, I probably did that for maybe 3 to 4 months, and it was just kind of choosing, finding what jobs you like to do. As I did say, like I'm more into like data entry, so like or transcripts, so taking the words in the video and typing them into a document, and you submit that to whoever's your employer is. And then it's quick and easy pay. It doesn't take much long to make money. There are some people out there on Upwork that can scam. They'll offer you a job and you do it, and then they try to pay you in like a way that they're really not paying you. They try to find like some scam way to pay you. So you do got to watch out for those kind of things. And I feel like that's just society now. A lot of times people just do things for the money of it. But I feel like Upwork is a really great resource for finding a quick online job that you can just do right quick, and you kind of work for yourself. So when you accept a job, it can be self-paced, and just make sure that you get everything done whenever the employer says. Once you get it done, you get compensated, and then on to the next job. And it's just a really quick and easy way to have a good occupation, just working from home. And I plan on getting back into that maybe this summer.
if you're tuned in, if you have a business, if you need, data entry, transcription, any of those types of services, before you go and pay someone else, consider supporting one of the young people in our community who's doing an excellent job. In Draden Vaughn. Again, he's a junior at Center High School, and we appreciate you coming on and kind of sharing your testimony about the business program. I am impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I'll use you myself. So I'll go ahead and commit to that for sure. I'll go ahead and use you myself. But before we wrap this up, Miss Lilly, if you could just one last time, just make a plea to the business community and give them your contact information, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so contact me through LinkedIn under Ellie Lilly. You can also search Southland C.A.P.S on LinkedIn, and that's our program, and you can message that as well. You can contact me at ellie.lilly, Lilly, 2 L's on the last name, at raytownschools.org. And we really would love any involvement that you would be willing to give. So if you want to be a guest speaker and just no formal presentation, just tell the kids about your business, how you got where you are today, the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship. They love hearing about that, how you really found your path. We also would love to do a site visit. We have a van. We pack the kids in the van and drive to your business and take tours. If you would have us, that would be great. We do client connected projects again. So what's the 10th thing on your list that you just cannot get to? A problem that you can't solve? Give us a shot at it. My kids will group up and research and try to problem solve to help you out. And we also do spring internships. They're non-paid internships, and the kids are on internship 8 hours per week. So it's kind of a short amount of time, but it's a kind of a sweet spot because it's not a huge commitment for you, but also it can lead to, what can the kids do to help you with your business? And who knows, maybe they'll be so great that you'll end up hiring them.
Well, Miss Lilly, I appreciate you coming on. Draden, you are an awesome young man. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. You've got a bright future ahead of you. And I think you're going to do great in whatever it is that you decide to do.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, hey, I'm A.L. Johnson with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency. This has been our community highlight. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.